Welcome to the Rimworld mod rundown. We'll be taking a quick look at what you can expect to see from Allow tool. For starters, you'll need to own the additional workshop content, Harmony and Hugslib. The one that absolutely nobody requested, but really needs to be done with the inclusion of the mining attached ores function in 1.5. This is one of those mods that sits insanely highly in the workshop, lands on everyone's top 10 Rimworld mods list, and then inevitably gets installed with the majority of its functionality completely overlooked by the people using it. Because who has the time to learn what the mods that they're installing actually do, right? As you might expect, this is going to be the most engaging, sexiest and action-packed breakdown yet, because we're looking at right-click menus and 6 new buttons in the orders menu.
Just a couple of people who totally got off, bro.
What? You did? Are you serious?
Okay, so there really isn't a lot to cover with Allow tool, but now that a few people have likely seen how useful the mine vein feature is with 1.5, let's extend that functionality to practically every other tool that you have in Rimworld and just make your life better. New button number 1, select similar. So you've just started on a brand new tile and you want to get things started. You want to make it easy to harvest all the berry bushes? Select one, right click select similar, select all things on map, and boom. Now you can harvest all of the berry bushes. No need to zoom out and double click, no need to worry about other items that might be harvested. Maybe you don't want berries though. Find a nearby deer, or boar, same thing. Select similar, tap hunt, no need to drag down on the wildlife tab. It works on so many things though. Checking how many steam geysers you have on the map instantly, you could select a power conduit, drag a box of select similar over the whole base and then hit deconstruct to get rid of them all without needing to click multiple times on each tile to find every individual bit. Select all of your torches in one go and then deconstruct them because you're moving over to electricity. Select all of the granite chunks on the map but ignore the slate and sandstone ones so that pawns aren't hauling back materials that you don't care about for your walls. Once you get into the habit of using select similar, it makes so many actions in Rimworld a breeze. You're no longer fighting the UI to get the game to do what you want. New button number 2, allow everything. Its hotkey by default is home. This clashes with speed up, so I normally remove the speed up slow down hotkeys as I'm using 1, 2, 3 and space anyway. So now, when you start a new colony, you can just hit the home key, and all of those scattered resources, the meals, weapons, any clothing, everything's ready to go. Big raid just finished and a lot of them died outside of the home area. Allow everything. Boom. All of the loot's yours now. You want to know what's really useful with this though? If you're playing on a tile that has a lot of predators, bears, wargs, wolves, foxes, all of that jazz, if you get into the habit of just tapping the home button every morning, you can usually snag some of their leftover kills for a bit of free meat and leather. No more random rotten animal corpses on your map, just lots of stuff in your storeroom to trade with caravans. New button number 3, haul urgently. This also gives you the new work type of haul urgently too, which sits below bed rest but above basic. If you've ever found that most of the hauling jobs are just okay being left low in the work bar, like it's not desperately important that those 20 bars of steel are brought inside or the 15 trees that you just chopped are immediately moved out of the elements. They've got a pretty long lifespan. But it absolutely boils your piss to see a bunch of meat left out of the refrigerator, or extremely rare or expensive items left for days at a time in pouring rain, massively lowering their durability. Now you've got an option to fix this. Haul urgently can be tagged on any item that you definitely want sooner rather than later, with you still having the flexibility to designate just how important it is in the work tab, or if some of your pawns are urgent haulers and others treat it as more of a suggestion. Obviously you've always got the option of manually telling your pawns to grab things, but let's be honest, that tribal raid that just dropped 40 or so piles of pemmican outside your kill box, you really want to queue up 40 manual haul orders on them? Or would you rather select similar, haul urgently, done? New button number 4, finish off. Nope, this isn't Rimjob World, so it doesn't mean that.
So we're just done with phrasing, right? That's not a thing anymore?
It's a more useful method of cleaning up after a big fight. There will always be a few times in Rimworld that enemies are downed, but it doesn't necessarily mean they're out. Massive animals like Thrumbo love to fall down for a while, then get back up, then eventually fall over again because of blood loss. The same thing can happen with mega spiders, only they're usually much bigger dicks when they get back up. Similar situations can happen with fast healing pawns like sanguiphages, or Hussar with their tendency to ignore pain, meaning that a couple of wounds healing a tick or two can see them get back up and try to fight again. Once you've cleared the battlefield of any potential recruits or organ donors that you'd like to take, you can drag an order of finish off over any remaining pawns, which will see a colonist with a melee skill of at least 6 stalking around the battlefield and delivering a swift death to any stragglers. No more dogpiling your pawns on a down target and bludgeoning them to death. New button number 5, Harvest Fully Grown. A lifesaver in some biomes, practically a meme in others. This will tag any plant that's mature enough to be picked or cut for harvest, meaning that in pretty much any forest biome you're likely to tag around 600 trees. Far more useful for the option of marking things inside your home area, which will allow you to get the final harvest before the temperature drops and potentially kills your plants, or if you're living somewhere like the tundra or arid shrubland, this lets you grab what little wood and food might be left on your tile. New button number 6, Strip Mine. Another one that has more uses in some biomes than others. Strip Mine lets you designate a target area, then set the parameters of how you'd like to tunnel to try and find any resources that might be hiding inside of mountains. It can also be used to mark out bedroom boundaries if you're living deep in the dark earth. Drag a selection to instantly mark out 5x5 bedrooms in back-to-back clusters, meaning all you need to add in are the corridors around it. Replace the dugout sections with some nicer walls, like marble, then excavate the interior and you've got a quick and easy living space. This mod isn't all new buttons either. Pretty much all of the standard tools now have a right-click menu attached to them, allowing you to do things like click on a single tile of compacted machinery, select all similar on map, then right-click the mine tool and select mine all connected ores. This cheats the fog of war a little more than the standard 1.5 mine vein feature, as it will show you exactly what directions or how deep the veins are going into a mountain before you've actually uncovered them. You can do this for things like compacted steel too, giving you a very quick idea upon landing as to how many resources there are on your tile. Many options have choices between selecting the entire map or simply what's in view. This allows you to clear the map in sections if you desire. If your tile is relatively safe or you've got a very sneaky hunter, there's a handy option to simply hunt all animals. Saves you the time of dragging a selection box down the wildlife tab. You have choices of things like chop all wood in the home area, to keep any trees from blocking pathing or providing cover that you don't necessarily want. Cancel has options for things like of this type or all building blueprints if you change your mind on something. The combination of tools and options just makes your life a total doddle, and it's all ready to go for 1.5. One thing you might want to up is the setting for select similar, which is in the mod options. It does run the risk of lagging your game a little if you're playing on a potato, but I normally throw it up to 1000 and see no issues. It also helps to get a better gauge on how many items are actually on your tile if you're selecting things like chunks. Upping the count is also basically required if you're going to play on anything larger than a standard map size, which, if you've never messed around with bigger or smaller maps,
Do it.
playing on the smallest map really mixes things up. As I said, there's nothing too mind-blowing here, but I would put money on somebody watching this and going, wait, this mod lets me do that? After having used it for well over 100 hours. It's the bane of being one of the most top-rated workshop mods. People just blindly install it and never figure out what it actually does. As it turns out, it does quite a lot. Thanks for watching, folks. If you have any mods you'd like to see a full breakdown for or suggestions of mods you'd like to see covered, feel free to leave them in the comments, I might get around to them. I'll be back again soon with another Rimworld mod rundown. Wherever you are in the world, enjoy the rest of your morning, afternoon or evening. Take care.